So we're back again, exploring the Higgs Village, which is most likely named after Peter Higgs. He's the guy who is most closely associated to the Higgs boson theory. I don't know if this is on purpose, but the Higgs boson has sometimes been referred to as the God particle, which is regarded as media sensationalism by a lot of researchers. Of course that might be fitting for the Big Mountain because everything here is sensational and stupid, mostly just built around stuff that seems good at the time. It's one of those things about science where normally results are very deep in the field and kinda hard to understand if you're not part of it. But stuff like this, mutant dogs, everybody can get that. That's a result. The entire Big Mountain is based around God science, actually tinkering with stuff and making life from nothing. Mary Shelley would write a book about it, but then at the climax she would take a break to talk about nature for like one whole chapter, would really slow everything down, and it would just go to show that the Frankenstein monster is way cooler than a mountain. Seriously, I don't know why you would go from Frankenstein monster wants a wife to I went to the mountains and there was snow on them and also there was the trees and oh god, I am wasting so much time reading this as a book report. You could have had the Frankenstein monster sword fight with the polar bear, but no. You had to stick to your theme, didn't you? Well, I would have wrote that book differently, let me tell you. Okay, we got a key in a birdcage. Kind of an interesting place for a key. Maybe you just absent-mindedly put it in there. Or maybe it has symbolism. I really hope it's the first one. Absent-mindedness is a whole lot less creepy than symbolism. You can do some really terrible symbolism with the cage. I've seen Naked Lunch. I don't really know what that stuff was symbolic of, but I've seen it. Also, I guess, really the key was in the cage, so what could that mean? Also, it was Borous' basement, so I guess this was Borous' old house. So I'm just gonna go out on a limb, and assume that maybe Dr. Borous was gay, but really ashamed of it. Okay, I know that sounds crazy, but just bear in mind, this is a universe where Freud was right about everything. So try to imagine, whatever that was symbolic of, it had to do with the penis. That's Freud, I didn't make his theories, that's just how it is. Also, scientific method is not a thing. We just kind of invent whatever we want to be true. That is also part of Freud's essential theories, and that is what we will assume. This is a teddy bear with butter knives stuck in it. A penis made Dr. Borous stab a teddy bear with butter knives. He is a very sick dude. Wait a minute. A chainsaw sword. Cool. Now I can trim the hedges like nobody's business. Let's see. Does it come with any kind of, attachments? No. Just trims hedges. Ignores the damage resistance of the hedges. I could prune a tree. I could prune a tree in full-blown body armor. And I guess that's everything that's here in Dr. Borous' house. Oh, except for the Magnum rounds. I need those. I don't know why Dr. Borous needs those, but I need them. So anyway, though, this trip gives me a sort of a different perspective on Dr. Borous. I'm not really sure, it seems very confusing. He's all funny and silly back at the lab, but here he's really creepy. A lot less bumbling, a lot more stabbing a teddy bear. He's got a doghouse back here. I guess this was for his old... Oh, hello! Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god! It's a tiny dinosaur! I have seen Jurassic Park, I know exactly what that guy's gonna do! He's gonna spit in my face and I'm gonna get blinded and then he's gonna eat me while I'm inside the car like the fat guy! Well, I am no Dennis Nerdly, I am at least 100 times more cowardly, and I will take cover here. You're not coming at all, are you? Hello? Tiny horrible lizard monster? Okay, I'm going in the house. Everywhere I go, I run into the same thing. It's always horrible, vicious monsters. Well, how come I can't run into anything that's, viciously friendly? Or rather, aggressively friendly, not so much viciously friendly. Like, they just try to run up to me and they force flowers into my hand and they're like, "You're really beautiful!" It still creates a conflict because it's unwanted behavior, like they'd be rubbing up against your legs while you're trying to walk down the stairs, and then maybe you trip and fall, so you have to figure out how to get down the stairs without being tripped by a creature that loves you inexplicably. I think it would be way better than being attacked by horrible monsters all the time. Or at least it's a bit of a change-up. As it is, I just run into varying flavors of, oh god, it's coming right for me! Maybe what I'm describing is a marriage system, but it seems like games never really get those right. You get married and then the husband or wife just paces in a circle like a zombie, it's weird. When you get married, shouldn't your partner nag you all the time, or try to get you to mow the lawn, or sit straight, or whatever it is the pet peeves are between you two? I guess it would be really hard to program a relationship like that, because they're all kind of based on the two people involved. You can't have one personality for a relationship without considering both people. Oh god darn it, you evil little dinosaur! You stay away from me! And then you just run back. Well, I can't figure out, are you more afraid of me than I am of you, or not? You're just guarding your doghouse. Well, that's fine. I wish we could communicate, because I don't care about your doghouse. I don't know what's in there. I assume corpses? Small corpses. Of like rabbits and pigs and stuff. It's not important, I just recognize that you probably treasure things like a corpse, bones and rotting meat. But I really don't care about those things, I'm not gonna steal them from you. I will respect your fear of my thievery by not committing thievery. Instead, I'm just gonna look around this house. Not sure what you must be eating in here. I guess people occasionally wander in and then get ambushed by you. Well, not people, or else I guess you would have been more aggressive with me. Probably Night Stalkers, Cyber Dogs, maybe Cazadors? Probably Cazadors can't get in through the door. Actually, neither could Night Stalkers or Cyber Dogs. I suppose I just don't really understand you, tiny dinosaur monster. Which means that you're on a big list of things that I can write down for stuff I don't understand about the Wasteland. I wonder if the Wasteland is easier to understand when you're one of those people who just lives in the sewer and doesn't clean anything up, and you say, yep, this is a good spot. Got another book? Oh, hello. Wow. There's a lot of teddy bears in this room. I have heard that the success of teddy bears was because of how they kinda look like babies. So I guess I can make of that what I will. A lot of teddy bears. I guess that would make this Dala's room. Maybe it was one of Dala's teddy bears in Dr. Borous' house. They might have had a thing, like she loans him a teddy bear, he sticks butter knives in it, and then they never talk about it because it's weird. They just bond together over a sort of mutual craziness, and that would explain all this. Gosh. I wonder if Dala broke all those mirrors, or if they just broke on their own. Cause that sure is a lot of mirrors to buy just to break. Oh, I know you're still out there, you horrible dinosaur. Just waiting for me to go nearby your home. Then you leap out and you break my head around backwards. But not today, I'm on to you. So anyway though, about the doctors, they're like really overtly insane. I mean, there are mood disorders and stuff, really common things that make you depressed or really manic, and that can cause your behavior to be erratic, or you could have schizophrenia or something. But this is like collecting 1 billion teddy bears and then smashing all your mirrors. I don't know for sure what that is. And then you get a teddy bear and you put butter knives in it. I don't know what's up with that either. It's like being an archaeologist. I can't really figure out everything about these people just based on the stuff they left behind, but it's like they really want me to try. And they really want my perception to be negative. You could think of ways that this isn't weird though. Imagine Dala, she's really into teddy bears, she calls everyone teddy bear. So the guys get together and buy her a whole bunch of teddy bears as a joke, and then she keeps them because she doesn't want to be rude. That would just be regular human stuff right there. You don't realize that it's a joke, so you don't want to offend anybody. Danger. Why am I in danger? And for being really good at stealth, I really suck at stealth. What is coming for me? Come out. This is ridiculous. The thing that's gonna kill me is hiding better than I am. I've got 2 things on either side of me. See a lobotomite just walking around. Whatever it is, it's not really eager to kill me. Let's see up here. Have a look. Oh, it's just one of those harmless robot guys. Well, that's not too scary. And of course this was going great till Darth Vader showed up in his pajamas. And the Sith Lord goes down. I don't know if that lightsaber axe reflects lasers, but it sure doesn't reflect basic ammo. On to the next area of interest. I'm gonna chop this guy in the back. Oh no, actually I see cyber dogs over there. Don't want to attract them with a fight. To be totally honest, I got enough ammo that maybe I can get through the next thing. I'm not really sure what I'm looking for this stuff for, these little personality chips. I guess it expands the sink, or the stuff in the sink. Maybe one of those things in there can sell me more ammo. I'm not really sure. I feel like my life has fallen into a rut. And not a typical rut, you know. I would give anything if my rut were wake up, wash your face, eat breakfast, darn it! I've been spotted by the murder cyborgs! Man, you know, if life were this tough for our ancestors, I thought we would have lived long enough to blow ourselves up! I swear, people are not meant to be under this much stress. Pretty soon all my hair is gonna fall out, and I'm gonna get a ton of acne, then I'm gonna be all ugly and I'll be stressed about that. Why does your body do that to you? That's like when you get sick and it just plugs up your nose. And oh good, more murder robots! Only this time it's a doctor robot, and of course it wants to kill me because everything wants to kill me here. Oh, well. I have got a concussion. But at least everything is dead. Well, not everything. But everything in this room is dead and exploded. There's probably dogs waiting for me outside, but they can't open the door, and thank goodness the robot didn't let them in. Wait, what is this? The robot has a halo? Well, I am not one to beat my own drum on goodness. In fact, I'm probably kinda not so good in that region. But it regenerates health, so I'm putting this on. Just call me Queen Latifah the Pious! So I guess that I must be in some kind of medical facility, or an experimental medical facility, because it's full of robot doctors. Of course, the robot doctors were programmed to kill me indiscriminately. I can't think of any reason why doctors would need to be programmed to do that, but this is the big empty. Everything is programmed to kill, apparently. Must be a real hard pitch trying to sell killer medical robots. Yes, as you can see here, these robot doctors can kill your patients in over 20 different ways. Not limited just to common deaths such as by staph infections or by botched operations, these robots can also kill anyone who walks into your clinic with a superheated plasma gun. Now, I know what you're thinking. Does it dice and does it slice? And yes, of course, I don't mean to be cliche, but it dices and it slices. It can cut right through a tin can. Or better yet, it can cut a man's head clear off his neck. But what's that? You want your malpractice to be discreet? Well, no worries. Our robot comes with the built-in function to pour horrible cobra venom into the ears of your patients while they sleep in your beds. All this available to you for only a low annual cost of $100 million. Hey, if it's good enough for the Pentagon, it's good enough for civilians. Your patients will be dying to have them, I guarantee it. So there's a whole lot of junk in here without any real purpose. Bunch of flashing lights and panels and buttons that don't seem to measure anything or indicate anything. I also see they've got this portable floodlight shining down on the Autodoc. I wonder what that's all about. Why do they really need more light on that thing? I mean, it makes sense in some old ruins where people might have been exploring, there's no lights. But for this to be set up way back when, that would imply this room just had crappy lighting in the first place. I can't think of many reasons why that would be, given the millions of dollars obviously being thrown at this place. Did someone in the medical facility make someone else angry, maybe? Some cranky engineer was just like, no, Dr. Saul is a horrible snake of a person and deserves to work in the darkness where he belongs. Then later Dr. Saul's all like, why is it so dark in here? Can we get a floodlight? And once again, Andy the engineer is thwarted by Dr. Saul's persistent but diabolical resourcefulness. Of course, if you're going to be a mad scientist, I assume you have to have a certain amount of obliviousness, so that would be expected from any kind of relationship like that. Test case. I heard one of the execs mention that whether Sinclair knew it or not, the Sierra Madre would be a test case for the Autodoc and the innovative toxins research. Maybe they were joking, but even that kind of a joke sends a chill down my spine. If I got poisoned by one of those toxins, no way would I crawl inside one of the Y-17 Autodocs here if my life depended on it. The medical tech for those trauma suits alone makes me wish they'd give up on that stuff. The Y-17 trauma harness has succeeded beyond our wildest expectations. The test harnesses were able to take over the motor functions of an injured subject and walk them back to home base. I guess that would be the skeleton astronauts I was seeing earlier. We will have to do further testing to think they could be programmed to replicate a wearer's shooting or fighting reflexes. Some issues still remain to be ironed out before the Y-17 trauma harness is ready for general production. Calibrating the proper amount of injury to trigger the suit remains problematic. Still, the little Yangtze subjects could hardly protest once inside the harness. If a home base is not designated, the suit enters an unpredictable wander state. And as we discovered while calibrating injury levels, the suit sensors are unable to recognize when the wearer is dead. Luckily, autonomous corpse retrieval is nearly as good as whatever else we were trying to do. So, there we go. That mystery maybe has been solved. They were not zombies at the Sierra Madre, they were a test case for the skeleton astronauts that are here at the Big Mountain. I have to admit that's a little disappointing. I was kinda hoping for just zombies. Don't get me wrong, zombies are kinda boring and cliche, but at least when there are zombies, there's a little bit of magic in the world, and I cannot see what's back there. I'm curious, but also horrified. I guess I will err on the side of horror, and then give up on exploring. It's how I've lived this far.
Oh, Klein, did I mention that my zone is forbidden to you? So forbidden.
Well, at least Dr. Mobius is really into what he does. You gotta appreciate a guy who just kinda sticks to the things that he loves, even if it is tormenting a bunch of brains in a jar. Makes me wonder, though, if I'm gazing into the future. One day we might all be able to be cyborgs, programmed into computers where we never age, we don't really need stuff, we'll just spend all our time shouting at each other, like on the internet. After all, can we ever become more than what we are? More than just clever primates that don't really know our heads from our butts sometimes? Sometimes I hear the birds singing outside, and I think to myself, if you could teach a bird to use social media, do you suppose it would use it just to extend the reach of its mating calls? It's really just what the bird does, but better, and the bird would think that was very clever because it was being very efficient. Makes me wonder if maybe people have all kinds of things at their disposal and we just don't see the obvious answers. We like the things we know, I guess. But anyway, here's a good place to stop. Thanks for playing with me, everybody.